This is Fearlessly Fertile.
Welcome to the Fearlessly Fertile podcast, episode 355. Baby in 2026, stop doing this. Hey, loves, I'm so excited to be here with you this week. We are just a couple weeks away from 2026, and I wanted to make good on a promise that I made in last week's episode. And that is to start helping you prepare for success in 2026. You got to stop doing this. Stop arguing in favor of these perceived limitations on your fertility journey. Stop arguing in favor of what they tell you are limits on your fertility journey. Stop accepting that shit. Straight up, you've got to stop arguing in favor of limits on your fertility journey. Here's why. More often than not, those limits aren't even limits that you, as a grown-ass woman, have placed in your life. Most of these things are just kind of spoon-fed to us on this journey. The reality is, there is a woman right now on a planet of almost 8 billion people that is older than you, has a worse diagnosis, and is in a labor and delivery room or giving birth at home somewhere on the planet. That's a reality. But more often than not, when we're in pain, when we're confused, when we're feeling overwhelmed, or we fall under the authority of somebody wearing a white coat, we just take in all these limits without ever truly challenging them. Who says that having a baby in your 40s is harder? What if the only reason why it's actually harder is because you accepted that as truth, as gospel, as law, without ever stopping and thinking? There was information that came out within the past couple weeks that said there is a baby boom for women 40 and up. That is a reality. The US Census, the last time we did the census, even showed that. It is an antiquated and broken notion that having a baby in your 40s is weird, it's an anomaly, it's hard, it's miserable, or it's something to be ashamed of. I posted something recently to Instagram where Claire Danes, A-list celebrity, talked about being pregnant at 44 and how she felt shame and didn't even think it was possible. This is the kind of crap that you have to exercise like a freaking demon from your fertility journey, because this is just not true. Women are getting pregnant naturally. Women are getting pregnant with the support of IVF and other interventions all the freaking time. In your 40s, even 50s, you may not even freaking need IVF. That's a reality. We have to start challenging these antiquated, rigid notions about what's truly possible for us on the fertility journey. Your responsibility, if you're committed to fertility success, is start looking around your life, your psyche, the way that you think for these kinds of limitations, and fucking stop arguing in favor of them. You have to start conditioning a different way of thinking so that you can create a new result. Thoughts, beliefs, actions, results. It's logical, linear, and true. There was a study that came out of Harvard talking about how your body is quite literally listening to your mind. It's a fucking fact. Your body does exactly what your mind tells it. If your mind is not calibrated to success on this journey and is instead ruminating on all of these limitations and only looking at the negative on this journey and not counterbalancing it with the reality that women are having babies in their 40s and 50s all the fucking time. What decade are you getting that information from? 40 and 50 today is not what they were 60 years ago. 40 and 50 is when women are truly coming into their own. Especially if you're a fucking professional. If you spent most of your 20s, 30s, and 40s getting to be the chief medical officer at the hospital or your top engineer or partner in the law firm, 40s and 50s is exactly when you're going to have your family. What's the big deal? It's time to just throw those antiquated notions out the fucking window. They don't apply to women who are vibrant and living a full life today. It is completely normal to see a woman in her 40s, or good luck trying to even figure out if she's 40, in the pickup line at school. This is the new normal. This requires us to think in a more precise way on this journey, a more truth-based way. Instead of allowing all of these statistics and fear mongering and hurry up and get pregnant because you're going to turn 40 and it's downhill from there. Nope, that's just not true. It's just not true. And who cares? There are going to be some women who get pregnant naturally in their 40s and 50s. There are going to be some women that need support, but who fucking cares? It's your life. The point is, as a grown woman, it is your responsibility to create the life that you want on your terms. But that doesn't come without significant changes to your thinking and being judicious in what you let in and what you push out. Quite literally. When we're talking about stop arguing in favor of your limitations, here's how this can look. Most of the time, we are completely unconscious of the way we're arguing in favor of our limitations. It can sound a lot like, I can't because. What you have to start focusing in on is what comes after because. Is it something that's actually true? Or is it a rule that you've just sort of accepted and never really challenged or made a decision that you want to live by as a woman who is trying to get and stay pregnant in her late 30s, 40s, or even 50s? Is that a rule that you choose to live by? Who says that you don't have time? Who says that you don't have the money? Who says that it's impossible? All of those rules, if they are not consciously chosen by you and through careful thought accepted by you, all of those things are just somebody else's beliefs. If you want to create success on this journey, and you might be the only one left on the fucking dance floor, you have to take authority of the way that you think. You have to be consciously creating a series of beliefs that support your success. I can't because isn't one of them. You are actively choosing success on this journey. Here's how you can begin to get a handle on this. And this will be fun, ladies, especially around the holidays. If you approach this exercise with love, a sense of humor, some compassion, and some fucking forgiveness, you can really get somewhere as a result. I would strongly encourage you to keep an I can't journal. Take a couple pages in your journal. Or get a special notebook for this. This can be super interesting because what comes after I can't because is always telling of the current state of your mindset. You may be very shocked and you may find that these aren't your rules at all. They might be your mom's rules, your dad's rules, your boss's rules. They're just not conscious and created by you. There's never been more urgency, especially in your life, in the context of this journey, for you to be a conscious creator in your life. That means you choose the rules. You say what goes. If those people don't want to play by the rules, you're going to find another team. You're going to find new people on your bump squad. I have met so many women over my 11-year career coaching women to fertility success who had no idea that despite the fact that they had JD, MD, all these amazing titles, multiple letters after their names, all of these certifications, all of these degrees, prestigious positions at universities, hospitals, law firms, these women had no fucking clue that they had handed their license, agency, and authority to rules that they never consciously challenged or even investigated to see whether or not they actually bought that shit. It doesn't matter how academically smart you are or what your position is. Until we wake up and become conscious to this pattern, more often than not, we're living by rules that we didn't even choose. So get out some paper, get some pages in your journal, and start writing down every one of your I can'ts because. I'd like to do this in real time. Keep it close by. If you catch yourself saying, I can't do that because I can't afford it, you're going to write that down. Give yourself a moment and say, well, is it that I can't afford it or I choose not to afford it? Those are two very different things, mama. I'm not saying that either is wrong, but know why you're saying that. Don't just be a parrot that's just repeating shit that your mom used to say, your dad used to say, when those rules may not even apply to you. You're not a stay-at-home mom who's not bringing in money. Maybe that was your mom. No shade either way. But if we're just parroting what was modeled to us, we're not consciously creating our experience. We are living by somebody else's limitation. You may find, I can't because I don't have the time. Well, have you ever thought about making the time? I know that some of you might think, well, I'm a physician in a hospital. This is my shift. This is the way it works. I don't know that it's necessarily the way it works. It's the way it's been done in the past, but you won't know until you challenge that. So often, the experience that we want to have on this journey was just an ask away. It was just having the guts to challenge the rule, and then you might find yourself in an entirely different circumstance. And this really can fuel your success on this journey. Shortly before recording this podcast, I had an amazing conversation with one of my miracle mamas in the making. She had just been having a real tough time with a clinic that she was working with. She called another clinic that was outside of her country and asked for what she wanted, and they were like, great, we can totally do that. She was absolutely floored because she thought that that clinic's way of doing things, the one in her home country, she thought that that's just the way it was. It wasn't until she had summoned the courage inside of her to challenge the alleged rules that she started to create an entirely different experience, found a clinic that wanted to love on her and do things her way, and she is well on the path to freaking success in 2026. That's how powerful this process is. Take note of the ways in which you argue for your limitations, mama, and fucking stop it. Think about this. Chances are there's a conversation that you have been avoiding with someone that is maybe on your bump squad, and you're just afraid because you think they are going to say no, or you think that challenging them is going to mean a loss for you. You don't actually know that. You don't know it until you do it. And that I can't because could be blocking your clear path to your baby. One of the things I would encourage you, if you have the courage to do this assignment, and miracle mamas will, is have compassion for yourself in this process. None of what I am encouraging you to experiment with is a gotcha. We're not looking for all the ways that you're fucked up. What we are looking for is your way to freedom on this journey. You've heard me say this a bazillion times, and I'm going to say it again. The desire in your heart to be a mom is there because it was meant for you, mama. You learning to argue in favor of your possibilities, not your fucking limitations, is going to make you a legend on this journey. It's going to make you a mom. I know this is a lonely road because most people in our lives, and far too many living this journey, worship at the altar of limitations. They are all too ready to throw their hands up, let go of their license and agency, and let somebody in a white coat be an authority. Nobody but you deserves authority in your life. You can call in experts, let them love on you, let them help guide you. But you don't have to live by anyone's rules but your own. If anything is going to be limiting you on this journey, it's time to question it. You are not going to get to where you want to go by accepting limitation. Have the courage to challenge the rules and motherfucking make your own. And if you want my help getting there, go to my website, www.frommaybe2baby.com, and apply for an interview there. My methodology has helped women around the world make their mom dreams come true. And the results, as you've seen, speak for themselves. If you don't have a mindset for success on this journey, baby, you got a gaping hole in your strategy. Accept no substitutes. Women serious about fertility success and who want the best get fearless. Till next time, change your mindset, change your results.
Love this episode of the Fearlessly Fertile podcast? Subscribe now and leave an awesome review. Remember, the desire in your heart to be a mom is there because it was meant for you. When it comes to your dreams, keep saying hell yes.